कॉन्वर्सेशन की हम बात कर रहे थे HDFC बैंक के CFO के साथ अजय ने एक्सक्लूसिव कॉन्वर्सेशन किया। उनके आगे के रोड मैप पे काफी सारी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्वर्सेशन निकल कर आई है। आइए एक बार आपको वो सुनवाते हैं।
The beauty of this place is that the macro is that the consumer credit is very low in the economy, right? When you have the consumer credit penetration 20 to 30%, 20, 25%, that is, so you have a long runway for consumer credit to pick up, right? People aspirations have only gone up. People aspirations haven't come down. So if one has to be operating like a Western world in times to come, there's a long way to go. This has to double, triple to be at that kind of a level from a consumer credit penetration.
Sure.
So there's a long way from that sense.
I'm surprised that, I mean, there's also a point that your entity is being able to do it very well. But if you look deeper into the system, there are consumer durable companies which are telling us that some demand has, maybe you are mining your clients and your customers very well for the penetration part. I want to understand with you, there is a thought in the market about your bank, which has seen phenomenal decades of 20% plus compounding. And now the numbers show that at least the business growth on the top line front is kind of hovering around the 18% kind of a number. Whereas your NIM growth is very healthy 24% and many other parameters are upwards of 20%. So are we now seeing some moderation, and for foreseeable future, that's the new normal we are talking about?
See, if you go back, you have to go back in history to see what is the kind of rate of growth that we have experienced. You can look at any block of a 3 years or a 5 year blocks, right? A year or a quarter wouldn't tell you a trend, but if you look for a longer period, say 2012 to 17 as a 5 year block, 2.3, 2.4 times, essentially high teens to 20. That's the rate of growth, right? Assets or deposits. So you go back to 17 to 22, another block of 5 years, same 2.3, 2.4 times, 18, 20%. Or if you look at a recent time period of a year or so, this is a similar type of a 19, 20% type of growth. So that's the kind of, the velocity at which we are moving currently is faster than the velocity at which we were moving when we were 7 years, 8 years ago. So the larger we have got, the faster our velocity is. So
you will say that the best way to analyze the growth and velocity is actually look at a 5 year picture, not a yearly picture. Perhaps they will mask a lot of growth there.
Yearly is important, but over a longer period is where you deliver a change, deliver the difference.
Retail part of the loan book, I want to understand how is the corporate end of the loan book behaving in terms of their behavior towards fresh credit, be it your SME kind of book, rural book, and of course the corporates. Because the fact of the matter is that rates in the system have edged higher, and from now also it likely to edge higher. So what kind of conversations are you having?
See, the larger the corporates, they come with the rate view, because professionally managed money managers who are there in the corporates, so they have quite a view of where the market is heading, the rates are heading, and so there's intense discussions that will happen in terms of the credit. But working capital is something, as I said, is inevitable and people have to finance. And from a project financing, it takes time, over a period of a longer term it comes. But good demand on that front, and people, it is not as interest rate sensitive from a working capital credit offtake, because the ability to pass on is important, and that happens at both the SME level as well as on the wholesale level. People are able to pass it on. So that's, and then when they pass it on, does it impact the consumer spending at the end? It is reflected in the price of the goods and services at the end. Is it reflected there? It is. Does it matter? Does it matter to the overall economic growth? It doesn't. India is a high interest rate country for most part, right? Operating at a 6% to 8% kind of an interest rate is not something that is new in the country.
ये है CFO HDFC बैंक के श्रीनिवासन वैद्यनाथन से एक खास बातचीत आपको दिखाई दे रही थी। बहुत सॉलिड कंपनी है, और देखिए ये पूरा ग्लोबल स्लो डाउन और ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस जैसी बातें वापस आ रही हैं, लेकिन आपको सॉलिड बैलेंस शीट, सॉलिड ग्रोथ और क्लीन मैनेजमेंट वाले नामों की तरफ देखना है अगर आप इन्वेस्टर है लॉन्ग टर्म।